Are you looking for an easy meal with all the fall flavors? This pork roast is the perfect meal for that. It's a pork shoulder roast with apples and onions. It comes together super fast. You put it in the crock pot and set it and forget it. So it's a very easy recipe. And here are your ingredients. So you're going to get a 2 to 3 pound pork shoulder roast, or any pork shoulder that you can get. You're going to use 6 to 8 apples. I'm using Pink Lady because they're one of my favorites, but Granny Smith would work great as well. I don't think Red Delicious would work very well because they're a little bit too mealy. You want one that's kind of firm. 4 onions, a 1/4 cup to a 1/2 cup of brown sugar, some Greek seasoning, garlic powder, onion powder, and pepper and salt. And you can change up these seasonings to whatever your family prefers, but switch it up however you'd like to. So then you're going to use a peeler and peel your apples. And when you're peeling those, you can just kind of go around that top in a circle and keep on going around, peeling in a concentric motion, or you can peel around the top and keep on going down. You don't have to be super careful about getting every single bit of the peel off in this particular case, because the peels are going to kind of dissolve as this is cooking over time, so it's not too much of a big deal. Then you are going to cut the apple off the core in 4 pieces. So just cut that first side off, and then just cut off the other 3 sides. And you can see by this little diagram the way that I do it, and leaving that square core in the middle, and set the core aside, and then just throw those pieces into the crock pot. You may notice that I call it a slow cooker in the captions, and that is because a slow cooker is the technical name, the crock pot is the brand name. And Crock-Pot is not a sponsor, although, you could be. So just give me a call. After that, you're going to sprinkle the apples with brown sugar. If you're trying to lower your sugar, then you can obviously leave that out. Or if you're using a sweeter apple, you could leave that out as well. But just sprinkle a little bit of brown sugar over top of the apples and kind of evenly spread that out. And then we're going to be cutting the onions. The first step to cutting your onions, and this is anytime you're cutting them off, then you are going to cut that root end off, and then cut the stem end off as well. Then you are going to cut through that root end and peel off the papery outer skin with your fingers. And for this particular application, we are going to have the onions in pretty big chunks because we're cooking them for a really long time, and they're going to get pretty soft in that process. So we're going to cut that root end out and cut those halves into 3 pieces. So each onion is going to be into 6 pieces. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and add that roast to the slow cooker and continue to cut the rest of the onions. And this is not an exact recipe. You can add as many apples or onions as you'd like to, but just based on the amount of space I had, the 6 apples and the 4 onions worked out best. But you're just going to keep on cutting those onions up and adding them in. And once I reach the top of my slow cooker, I just stop cutting onions. So you want to add a whole generous amount of each of those seasonings in there, because the onions and the apples are going to soak all of that up. And we are adding that on top so it soaks down into the meat and the apples and onions. We are not adding any liquid into this because there's going to be a lot of liquid in the apples and the onions that is going to seep out of there and cook the pork. And we're also adding a little bit of salt in there as well. Then you are going to cook this on low for 6 to 8 hours until the meat is tender. And we don't usually have to worry too much about the internal temperature of this. It would need to be 145 degrees, but we are cooking this until it's just about obliterated, so you don't have to worry too much about internal temperature on this. But once it comes out of the slow cooker, you're going to slice that up and serve it with some apples and onions on the side. This ended up being absolutely amazing, tasting incredible, and we had a lot more apples and onions than we had pork, but we served those up later with some smoked sausage and cooked the smoked sausage in the extra apples and onions to serve those up. So that's a great way to use those extras up. I hope that you are able to make this recipe. It's perfect for fall, a great way to use up any extra apples that you have. Thank you so much for joining us, and I just wanted to remind you we have these 2 membership levels, the 20 quart and the 5 quart, and they are a subscription that will allow you to have early access to our videos. You'll get them as soon as we post them, and we will be doing live streams for those membership levels as well, where you have access to ask us questions in real time. If you do not want to spend money on a subscription or a membership, then all you have to do is hit that subscribe button. It is absolutely free to subscribe, and it helps out our channel a whole lot. We are getting really close to being able to monetize our channel, so subscribing is an absolutely perfect way to help us out. Don't forget to like this video, comment, share it out to your friends if it's something you think you'll enjoy, and we will see you next week.